right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to this episode of the Road to Redemption podcast. I'm, as always, your host, Cam Williamson, and we're going to jump right into it. Today, we're going to talk about UFC 251. I didn't get to watch it live. I had to watch it afterwards, literally like an hour afterwards. On YouTube, got to watch Max Holloway, Volkanovski, got to watch Rose Namajunas versus Jessica Andrade. I watched all the ones that I wanted to see. We'll start off by talking about Max Holloway versus Alexander Volkanovski. That was a good one. We'll talk about the Wayfair thing going on with the sex trafficking and the Will Smith entanglement stories. We're going to talk about it all right here on the Road to Redemption podcast. Let's get into it. All right, we're back. What's up? Welcome back to this episode of the Road to Redemption podcast. I'm, as always, again, your host, Cam Williamson. UFC 251 kicked off this past weekend, Saturday. It was the first fight at Fight Island in Abu Dhabi. It looked amazing. The arena looked great. Looked like the fighters, looks like they enjoyed themselves outside of the 14-day quarantine that they had to be in a couple different times, all the different COVID tests, whatever. Seems like all the fighters were met with hospitality and were kind of set up for success, so that's good. Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway was a very controversial fight. I had it 3-2 for Max. Could have even been 4-1 for Max. The third round, I think they gave to Volkanovski because of all the head snapbacks with the jabs. He landed a hook too that was pretty brutal. I think the third round was just because of the snapping of the head. Volkanovski was getting tuned up the first two rounds. So, I mean, as far as momentum goes, just because he started to kind of snap his head back in the third, Max didn't really slow down at all. Not to me. It didn't seem like he did. He was still in the fight the whole time. The last round, it seemed like either Max was starting to feel the effects of those head snapbacks, or mentally he was just like, oh no, the momentum shifted, something. I still think Max got robbed. I don't think Volkanovski won that fight at all. I don't know how they saw that. As far as Rose Namajunas, that was a clear win. Rose is a beast. But the first time they fought, Rose beat her the entire time. Andrade just dumped her on her head, and, that was what it was. Namajunas just went, I'm just not going to let that happen again. Like, I'm just not going to make that same mistake by holding on too long and getting dumped. That's it. And then she won. So, I mean, UFC 251, most of it comes from Volkanovski winning, and everyone wants to talk about that. The fight was great, though. I mean, Max performed. Volkanovski showed up. I thought it was a great fight. I definitely think Max got robbed. And I think Max knows that. I think Dana White knows that. I think even Volkanovski knows that. So the chance that there's going to be a third is pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Now, Volkanovski may not. He may say, hey, I'm good. We've done this twice. I beat you twice. I'm good. I'm going to move on. I think that would be kind of messed up because of everything that Max is such an ambassador to the sport. It would be a huge slap in the face, especially because both decisions were kind of controversial, to be honest. Now, the first one, Volkanovski clearly won more than this one, but still, I would like to see it run back a third time. I don't know what Max Camp needs to do. I don't think really anything. Just stick with the same game plan. Maybe, I don't know. I thought Max looked great, so I'm not going to sit here and pick either one of them apart. I just think Volkanovski was slower. He knew that the leg kicks were going to get checked. He still used his leg kicks a lot in this fight, but I think he knew that Max was going to have an answer for that, so he knew he had to come with other stuff. But Alexander Volkanovski trains out of Tiger Muay Thai out of Thailand, and that's one of the top Muay Thai gyms around, which you see that with his kicks. You see that with, he's an amazing striker. So great fight. I want to kind of get into this Wayfair thing. This isn't going to be a real long episode, but there's so much, conspiracy theory around this right now. Everyone's seeing them, I'm sure, at this point. Everyone is seeing them. My wife is one of those few people that just doesn't pay attention to this stuff, so I was telling her about some of it. Allegedly, right? Allegedly. And I don't know if they're connecting it to the Jeffrey Epstein Island thing. I think some people are. Supposedly, Wayfair, the site, Wayfair, you got just what I need. Apparently, you got just what pedophiles need too. Seemingly, allegedly, as of now, assuming that everything hasn't been Photoshop hokum due to the internet. Yeah, so we've been seeing these disturbing posts, usually on Facebook, or my sister informed me that this thing kind of started on Reddit. People are finding these items on Wayfair where it's like a filing cabinet for $10,999, and it's called like the Sharia 5-piece cabinet, and it's $11,000. Well, then right next to it, there's a picture of a missing person from like Columbus, Ohio, where I'm from, and the girl's name is Shamia something. And people are like, well, wait a minute, what the fuck? How is a cabinet $11,000 and you key tagged it the same name as a missing person? So then there's another one, same exact thing. There's like a sofa set that's like $20,000 and it's the name Brittany. And then there's a Brittany missing. And it's all these correlations between these posts of obviously ridiculously priced things. The questions I have about it all, a Wayfair employee, quote unquote, supposedly, posted saying that they have been told that there are premium accounts that you do not contact them. They don't want to be contacted. They will do their business, but they have no desire to be contacted by anybody. They are protected at all costs. They are a platinum vendor or whatever. That's where I think people are kind of like, well, that's kind of weird. Like the people that are asking $11,000 for a filing cabinet, they're saying they absolutely under no means want to be contacted. I think the reason this thing is so hard to believe is because it would be out in plain sight. It would be such a slap in the face to everyone because it literally just lived right under our nose if it was the case. The reason I have a hard time believing it is just, I mean, how many people? Now, most of us don't have $20,000 in their bank account where we could do this, but how many people would be able to just turn and go on Wayfair, try to buy that item and see what happens? I mean, a law enforcement division, anybody could do something like that. Yeah, and then again, just see what happens. Now, with all the attention that it's getting, I'm sure that if this was an underground sex trafficking operation, I'm sure it's been halted severely because of all the attention that it's getting. I cannot imagine, right? I cannot imagine that Wayfair. Now, I don't know anything about Wayfair as a company. I don't know where they're based out of. I don't know any of that shit. That is all very important. Let's look it up. Let's look it up right now, actually, while we're sitting here talking about it. Where is Wayfair based out of? Boston, Massachusetts. Guys, the chances of a U.S.-owned company who advertises themselves on TV, the internet, all these things, they spend a lot. Wayfair, you got just what I need. We all know that song because they advertise. The chances of that sliding under their nose would, Wayfair's probably a massive business. It probably deals worldwide, whatever. Things happen. Things definitely slip under the nose, but there's got to be a protocol. I've been in vendor sales for a long time. I mean, I did it with guns. I did it with all kinds of shit. Automotive services, automotive parts. I've been in vendor sales for a very long time. There's an account manager over everything. There's people who it's their sole job to ensure that this SKU number lines up and that, all the products are reviewed and the descriptions are correct and images are good. I just cannot imagine how this would have slipped through the cracks. Now, I've seen pictures, but it's 2020. So with Photoshop and with conspiracy theories and with all the time people have right now with the coronavirus, I'm not willing to say that Wayfair is 100% doing this, or that Wayfair is 100% allowed this to happen sometimes, because again, it could be something where some corrupt individual got in, found a space that they can operate kind of in the background, and they took advantage of that. Could be. It's just so hard to believe. It's literally like out of the movie Taken or something. I mean, but let me say, so I've said all that to kind of leave you guys with no real hard stance on it. I will say this: sex trafficking is a massive issue. It's a massive issue. It happens way more than people think. Here in the town that I live in, it's actually a big problem. We had a big issue about a year ago. People were just walking through Walmart snatching kids. And it was a big thing to the point where it was almost like a state emergency to be aware. Guys, watch out for people. Right? Watch out for people. Don't let your friends, especially your female friends, don't let them walk around alone. And this is nothing because they're not capable. It's not because, my Muay Thai coach is a woman. She could kick my ass any day of the week. But that's not the point. This isn't a chauvinist, misogynist thing at all. This is just simply being in numbers is better. I'm not saying have a man with you. I'm not saying whatever. I'm just saying don't, if you are a woman, travel alone. And I guess unless you're armed. If you want to be armed or something like that, fine. If you're just more of a loner. But guys, this shit is no joke. And one thing you'll find as the more things get exposed, so like the Jeffrey Epstein thing, the island, the Wayfair, as all this stuff happens, big actions usually come. Big actions. Now, this is all assuming that these things are true, that this is actually happening. So just try to... Criminal Minds is a big show, right? It's a big show. People like it because they want to be in the mind of the criminal. Most people don't want to try to put themselves into the mind of someone who would do something like what's being alleged in the Wayfair situation. If you put yourself in the mindset of just a criminal, though, and you go, okay, I'm doing something that's illegal, it's on a massive scale, it's on Wayfair, it was maybe working for a while and they must have gotten away with it, i.e. also my logical brain goes, why is this just coming up now? How is this all just being found? It's just people making much ado about nothing with the Jeffrey Epstein doc coming out on Netflix, which was so popular. I think in the world of Corona, we just have too much time to try to link things together where it could have just been, an accident or a glitch on Wayfair. Now, I did see Wayfair came out and said something like, no, them shits are priced, right? That's just what they want to charge. They can charge $10,000 for a set. Hey, Wayfair, no. Hey, Wayfair, no. That's not how that works. It's not how that works. You can't just be like, oh yeah, they're allowed to ask $20,000 for a bookshelf. No, look into that. Hey, look into that. You have to. You have to. Especially now, like how Wayfair hasn't come out and pretty much just been live 24/7 on every platform that they have and going, this is not us. This we don't know nothing about it. You gotta go into severe like offense mode. You have to look. I don't know what these motherfuckers are talking about. This is some conspiracy. You have to, just like what I said with the Chris D'Elia thing, sitting around and just being silent and letting people create more things and more pictures come to light. The mass sheep mentality of the world is not in your favor. It's never going to be in your favor. The more emotional something is, the more shocking it is, unfortunately, the more people believe it. We are an entertainment society. We go to YouTube and Netflix and especially murder porn and all this stuff that we watch now. Murder porn is like the serial killer documentaries and the don't fuck with cats and that, because it's what people call murder porn. It's so big now. People love it. So there's almost like this new underground society on Reddit and 4chan and all these other Cheeto-eating motherfucking sites where people they just have too much time. They have too much time. And it starts and they're watching a Jeffrey Epstein doc on Netflix so that way they can make a review about it and try to make a YouTube channel. And because of that, they're trying to redecorate the house. So after uploading the video, they go on Wayfair. They see this fucking glitch or this mistake, and it's a filing cabinet for $10,099. And they're like, whoa, Jeffrey Epstein, Wayfair, $10,099, sex trafficking. Oh, let me look this up. And then you go to www.imright.com and you find whatever bullshit fits your narrative. And then you create this YouTube video about it where you link this and look at these two things and how they fit together. And no, you didn't fact check anything. You didn't check the sources of who posted said picture, article, video, whatever. You don't know whether anything was photoshopped or not. You don't know. I mean, this would just be a very big coincidence. Not coincidence. It would be a very massive slip under the nose for the United States. And again, how has anybody not been brought to justice so far? With all this going on, if it was true, I feel like Wayfair would have already been raided. Whoever these vendors are that say, oh, we don't get contacted, we don't whatever, that whole shit would have been over. It would have been a raid of all raids to figure this shit out. I think this has just become just another thing to talk about. It's just something else that got people's attention. Somehow somebody created something, enough people spun it on a 4chan or Reddit chain, and now it's come out to be this massive thing. There's a lot of pictures that are not good. I can't tell you how many videos or pictures I've seen since all this stuff has come out. There's the one of Trump hugging this girl and kissing her like on the back on a motorcycle or something. There's this real creepy video of like a Western singer, and he keeps kissing this little boy. Guys, I'm not saying that Trump did anything wrong. I don't know who the kid was in the picture. It could have been a family member. I don't know what he was doing. I'm not defending anybody on any of this shit. I'm just saying you can take anything at all, and you can look at it at face value, create something of that, and then spin that narrative. And if enough people believe it, that becomes the truth in public opinion. And I just think we all sit around and we go, well, that's wrong. We shouldn't do that. This is what's wrong with America. But then the second it pops up on our timeline, we're like, what? What the hell? Oh my God. Look at this. Wayfair. Blah, blah, blah. And you want to be the first one to put it out so that way you aren't feeling like you're behind the times or seen as not being relevant on social media. So people go, oh, well, let me get on this before everybody else starts talking about it. And then you go down for an hour. Well, I posted this and it got 15 likes, so let me go find another one and that one will get 30 likes, and let me do this. And again, you spend all afternoon on imright.com and you find all this shit that you think, oh, look, I found it. Look, I keep finding it. That means it's true. No. Anybody can create a website. Anybody can edit a picture. Anybody can change. As long as you know how, you can do it. Just because a picture circulates the internet, it means nothing. It literally, in 2020, it means nothing. You can go on YouTube and watch Joe Rogan meets Joe Rogan, Joey Diaz meets Joey Diaz, and you would believe that these are real. They're not. They're clearly not real because Joe Rogan doesn't have a twin and he's not talking to himself, cloned. So it's a trick. It's editing. It's whatever. It's to get your attention and go, wow. That's most things. I think I'm fortunate to have the objectiveness behind it because I'm in this industry. I take pictures and I edit them, and I make videos and I edit them, and I've taken content and I've shot a picture and then created something completely different out of it, just because of an idea that I had or an inspiration that I had. Just protect yourselves. I'm not saying don't look into it. I'm not saying don't, if it's actually happening and that comes out to be the case, that it doesn't need justice served. Absolutely. I mean, nothing would be more important than this, but I'd just say protect yourselves, protect your mental, protect your knowledge, and protect your word. Don't go out saying stuff and putting these big, bold proclamations on stuff when you don't know. You don't know, because it's only going to make you look silly when it comes out. And like already, I think Facebook has started to go through and be like, this is not true. Wayfair is not doing this. They haven't done that. I'm honestly just going to scroll through Facebook real quick because I know it'll pop up quicker than shit. Let me see. Somebody will post one. Nope. I'm going to make a liar out of myself. Anyway, I haven't been seeing what must read. Body cam transcript tells a different story about the George Floyd death. I'm not doing all that shit again. And again, just like that. Look, they want to rehash shit because now people stop talking about it and, justice is kind of coming. But now they want to do a whole new thing where this new body cam transcript shows. And this is just the person who posted that is a moron and they post a lot of dumb shit. Yeah. Must read. Body cam transcript tells a different story about George Floyd's death. DJHJmedia.com. Hey, get fucked. Get fucked, DJHJmedia. Fuck you. For your clickbait headline bullshit, because I guarantee if I go and click, let's just, for fuck's sake of it, hate the fact that I'm giving this person anything, 74.6 thousand shares. Let's read this piece of shit real quick. Corrected article. The official cause of death for George Floyd is related to the pressure applied by Derek Chauvin to his neck. The article is merely speculation based on possible findings in the official autopsy. We are in no way trying to say that drugs or other conditions during the apprehension was the cause of Mr. Floyd's death. Some people are saying George Floyd's respiratory crisis was caused by fentanyl he had ingested before the police showed up on the scene. Is that true? We're not sure, but it brings up some very concerning scenarios. BLM blasted questionable narratives about people who have been in similar circumstances. The unnecessary and abusive conduct, I believe, of Derek Chauvin, who kept his knee on George Floyd's neck. It now looks like George Floyd, not Derek Chauvin, killed George Floyd. Hey, guess what? No. Hey, guess what? No. No. Derek Chauvin kneeling on his neck killed him. That's it. That's it. They've shown it. There were autopsies about it. We all fucking saw it. He, whether he had fentanyl in his system or not, was going, I can't breathe. Help me. Help me. Let me go. Mama. He's alive. So they've already said the officers were wrong to begin with, because if he is overdosing, you should have gotten him medical attention. You never should have leaned on his neck. Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd. Simple as that. But look at what happens. That was just shared 3 minutes ago. Perfect fucking example of people who read a headline, go, oh, maybe this is some new development. Guess what? It's fucking not. The facts are what they are. People will just keep rewriting articles and wording them different ways so it gets 74.6 thousand shares and they can make a career off that. Stop supporting shit like that. Stop. Stop clicking on it. I did it to prove a point to y'all. Right there. I could show it to you. Stop. Use your fucking head for 2 seconds. I just smacked myself in the face. I'm getting so upset. Use your fucking heads. How hard is it? When you read something, filter it. What's the likelihood of this being the case? Ask yourself this first. anymore. From this point forward, going on forever, before you click on a link, before you click on a headline, ask yourself, could this possibly be manipulating? Is there a chance that what I'm about to click on is emotionally charged and only set to get clicks and views? If the answer to any of those is yes, skip that. Skip it. If it's not, I don't know who, I'm not going to tell y'all who you should find as credible sources. I can tell you Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, all them jokers ain't it. I can tell you that 100%. DJHJ.com ain't fucking it. I can tell you that. You are responsible for what comes out of your mouth. I've said this 1,000 times through this show. 1,001 times now. What you say and what you put out, you are responsible for. So if you are sharing things that is causing divisiveness, more fear, more angst, more anxiety in the world with everything that's going on, I better never hear you say anything about how politicians, large corporations, or anybody is the problem. Trump ain't the problem. What's the bitch that acted like she was Native American? Elizabeth Warren, she ain't the problem. What's the other dummy's name? Candace Owens, she ain't the problem. Biden ain't the problem. They're all a part of the problem. The problem is, shocking take, hot take, everyone. The problem is the American people. We've turned into sheeps, and we've allowed the media or anybody with a website to become the shepherd. Need I say more? I think this has been a perfect example. This whole episode has been a perfect example of just that. Will Smith got himself in an entanglement, I guess. I didn't watch the fucking Red Table. I don't want to watch someone be sad. All the pictures I've seen of this has been Will Smith crying because his wife stepped out on him with like a 20-year-old guy. And she said, I didn't have an affair. I had an entanglement. And Will Smith sat there and tried to act like he was cool with it or whatever. Guys, that's just sad. I mean, I've seen that a lot of people that I admire. Now, I don't. Will Smith is caught up in this whole sex scandal thing now. He had that young dude from That's So Raven come out and said, you raped me, motherfucker. And I think that dude's a little off his rocker anyway. But Will Smith's been having a time here the last couple of weeks. He got accused of rape. They're putting his picture up as being on the Jeffrey Epstein island. And now he's got Jada Pinkett putting him on TV, making him out to be a fool, really. It's kind of crazy. Guys, I'm not here to tell you how to live your lives, but I can tell you I've followed a lot of people, Aubrey Marcus, Will Smith, quite a few others, who have tried this open relationship thing. Guys, it ain't going to work. I'm telling you it ain't going to work. It's not going to work. If you love somebody and you genuinely love someone, you will never be okay with them going and having sex with another person. That will never be okay. It's not a possession thing. I don't own my wife. We're married, and by the state of law, yes, we are legally bound to each other. And there are consequences for going against that. But, again, the papers and the forms is not what makes a marriage. How you feel about each other is what makes a marriage. And my wife and I talked about it. If your spouse has the desire to go out and fuck other people, well, they don't love you. They don't love you. Sorry, but they don't. If your spouse has this thing where they can't be their best self, or they don't feel like they're fully living life if they can't just go out and chase ass all the time, you're with a dumbass. You're with an immature person who is being selfish and is being manipulative. That's it. It doesn't work. It's never worked. Open love and all this bullshit, it doesn't work. The people that you see that usually do this are always on drugs because they're unhappy. That's who's good with open love. It's usually heroin addicts and people that are on a bunch of hallucinogens and things like that, because that's the only fucking people that stuff would make sense to. It goes against everything we are as a human being to know or watch your spouse go and have relations with another person. It just wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. Sorry. It looks like we lost the camera. 1 second. I'm coming right back. Oh, no, we didn't. We're still good. We're still good. Yeah. So, yeah, don't do open relationships, guys. It's not going to work. I hear a lot of people go, not misogyny. What's the word? When you're exclusive to one person, they say, oh, that's not real for people. People aren't meant to be exclusive to only one other person. Yes, they are. I'm telling you, they are. People, human beings, especially, I can speak for men. I've known tons of guys in my life. Never met one that would be okay with his old lady stepping out on him. Not genuinely. I've met a few that tried to say that. Oh, I wouldn't give a shit. She'd go out do what she wants as long as I can go out do what I want. Okay, that's great while you're out doing what you want. But the second she does what she wants, how you feel about that? You can say you're cool. Ask Will Smith. He can't say he's cool with it without tears going down his face. Ask Aubrey Marcus, who used to do it and now he doesn't anymore, and he's actually like distanced himself from all relationships because of all the pain he put himself through. Hollywood doing Hollywood shit, you know? Guys, that's going to be it for me today. If you like this episode, if you like the show, please do us a massive favor. Leave us a review on iTunes, the podcast app. 5 stars would be fantastic. Leave us a review there. Subscribe on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Y'all know the deal. We love you so much. Yeah. I had one question that I didn't cover. Somebody asked on the Instagram page, when do you think we will go back to normal, society-wise, or do you think we'll ever go back to normal? I do. I think we're going back very, very soon. I think that people have now realized that with this corona thing, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. Most people, I think, are going to be fine, just like with the cold and the flu. At some point in your life, you're going to get it. You'll probably beat it unless you're compromised. The mask thing, do whatever the hell you want. If you want to wear a mask, wear it. If you don't, I ain't mad at you. If you don't wear a mask, stay away from people. Don't go near them. Definitely stay further than the recommended 6 feet if you're not wearing a mask. Just for nothing else, don't make people uncomfortable. Your life choice is your life choice. You can see that they've made theirs. Clearly, you guys are on opposite ends of the spectrum of what you believe or what you think is necessary at this time. So guess what? Just stay away from each other. Don't get into screaming matches in the supermarket about it, and don't take pictures and put people on blast and call numbers and snitch on people. You know? I love you guys. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.